West Coast burgers is what we're doing today, and I'm really pumped. You know, Epicure has so many delicious flavors when it comes to burgers, and making burgers at home is easy, delicious, and it is cost savings as well as it's better for your health. A lot of the times the stuff you're getting in the grocery store in the boxes have all kinds of preservatives, all kinds of things in them. And we just want a clean burger, and you can do that. So we're gonna specifically talk about the West Coast burger today, which I'm gonna show you. But we're gonna talk about all kinds of different flavors you can do for burgers as well. This is throwing me off a little bit, I apologize. Okay, so again, my name is Carolyn Steffen, and if you are just hopping on, please make sure you share your name, where you're from, how you know the beautiful Mary. I have known Mary for probably, gosh, I'm trying to think, like 5 years or something crazy. And I love that girl. Anyways, I met her in Niagara Falls of all places, and she's lovely. So let's get cooking. So Epicure really is all about eating healthy and putting good, nutritious food on your plates for your families, and also time savings. So that's what it's all about, and that's what we're doing today. We are going to start with dessert, and dessert is one of my favorite things, although I am trying to cut back on sugar, and that's the nice thing about Epicure too, is that everything is really low to no sodium, low to no sugars, which is nice to have. So when you're thinking about something like a chocolate pudding, has anybody had the chocolate pudding before? Love this stuff. You can make this non-dairy, so totally vegan if you are a vegan. I'm going to show you some tricks on how to do that today. But we are going to start here just because it takes a few minutes to set. Mind you, it is really fast. So you'll see how fast it is to set. You can portion this out for your week if you're the only one eating it. If you have kids, you know, it's just so low in sugar, and it literally has like 4 ingredients that are super clean and delicious. Now it does have a little bit of sugar. It has some organic coconut palm sugar. So it is pudding, right? So anyways, do you guys love it? Awesome. Yeah, it's one of our favorites too. So I'm gonna just add the pack. This is super simple. I'm gonna add the pack to that. Now I am making the adult version of this because it is my fave. And I'm gonna do a cup of coffee. So it's gonna be like a mocha hot chocolate, not hot chocolate, mocha chocolate. We're gonna do a cup of coffee. Now my coffee is still a bit warm because I just brewed it. I'm gonna grab this cup here, and I'm gonna put a cup of almond milk. Now if you have regular milk, you can totally do that, but I'm gonna put about a cup. I'm eyeballing it here. I'm gonna start with my cold milk, because what I've learned is that when you put a hot liquid in this, it really gets clumpy fast. So we're gonna start with our cold liquid. And if you're just making like the kid version, then you can just do 2 cups of milk or non-dairy milk or whatever it is that you have. And that works out just fine. It doesn't take long before you start to see this really thicken up. Oh, I love this. Now, if you want to get really fancy, throw this in a popsicle mold, and oh man, so delicious. Oh my goodness. You see how, now there's only 1 cup in here so far, but as soon as we get that second liquid in there, it's going to get really, really thick. You won't even need to let it sit really. We're just going to stir that right up. And then I'm going to pop it in the fridge so it gets cool. And I love it as a popsicle. Definitely a great adult version. And if you could even whip this up into like the actual package, you can whip it up into actual whipping cream. And it is delightful, like as an icing or as a filling for a cake. It's awesome. So super simple. You see how thick that's getting already? And this is so delicious, especially if you're a coffee lover. If you are not a coffee lover, just put your milk in. If you love like a chai tea or something, oh my goodness, brewed chai tea in this is amazing. You got like a chocolate chai. So there's all kinds of ways that you can really create this delicious goodness. And that's it. And then this is our 4-cup prep bowl, which is handy because it actually has a lid similar to our 2-cup prep bowl. So this has a lid too, and that has the measurement. So you can actually measure things right on here and put the lid on and portion your things in that if you want. I have like 3 sets of these. I love them so much. They are always in use, but this is nice too because you can put that right in your fridge. And when you're ready to use it up, you use it up. or put it in your popsicle molds. Now, if you're putting in popsicle molds, you want to put it in right away. So as you make it, put it in your popsicle mold and put it right in your freezer. And then when it's ready, what a delicious summer treat, right? All right, I'll show you that again in a moment. All right, we're gonna go right from there. We are going to go into our West Coast burger. Now, I don't know if you've ever had a West Coast burger. I had never had one until just last month, and it is delicious. Now this is a fish burger actually, so it's a salmon burger. You could do it with tuna if you like tuna. This is salmon, it's just canned salmon. And we're a family of 5, so I do have like 4 cans of salmon in here, like a boneless kind of thing. Recipe to make them is right on our West Coast seasoning, and honestly, this is so delicious. I love it, like absolutely love it. I don't know why I'm surprised by that, but I actually really, really love it. So all you need, and I gotta tell you a secret, it actually calls for a half cup of mashed potatoes. And I don't even have a potato in my house right now, so I'm gonna omit that. We'll see how it turns out, but I'm sure it'll be just fine. I'm sure it's part of what binds it all together. But I'm sure you could also use, if you had a sweet potato, you could mash up a bit of sweet potato or just a regular potato, like that's what it calls for. So, but I don't have that. So we're gonna see what it looks like. But we are gonna add, so for 2 cans of tuna, it is, it's a couple tablespoons of seasoning and an egg. So I've got double batch here because I'm making dinner for tonight. I know it's early for that, but we already kind of had our lunch. So I'm gonna just do a double batch. And this is, if you haven't seen this beautiful tool, this is our 4-in-1 spoon. So that was a tablespoon, and you've got teaspoon, you flip it over, you got half a teaspoon and a line for 1/4 teaspoon. So all in one spoon. This is a must-have. Love this piece. And what else do we need in that? Our egg. A little bit of egg. So I've got 2 batches. We're gonna 2 eggs. And that's another binder too. Now you can put these, well, I don't know if you could put them on the grill. I'm sure you could, as long as you had like a plate, or if they were frozen, like if you made them and you froze them up, then put them on the grill, because I think that they would just be a little bit too soft. But anyway, so I've got 2 eggs, I've got the seasoning, and it calls for just a little bit of mustard, just like a teaspoon of mustard, and I'm just gonna eyeball that. I don't think we need to measure that. And then we are going to stir it all up. Now let's talk burgers for a second, because we love burgers at our house. I don't know about you. So when like ground beef or something like that comes on special, I will get a bunch and just whip out all kinds of burgers with all kinds of flavors, which is fun. So you see how nice that comes together? Now I'm sure, like I said, the potato probably binds it much, much nicer. But this is gonna make quite a few burgers actually. I probably didn't need 4 cans, but I love leftovers. I love cooking once and eating twice. How about you? Okay, beautiful feature of the season is our burger press. Love this thing. So this is a 3-in-1. So the plate comes out, you put the plate in, you put your meat in, which we're gonna do in a sec. So actually, we can just do that right now. We're gonna put our meat right in there. So you can, if you are really particular and wanna weigh it out and weigh each burger, you can totally do that. So you've got that in there, you take the press part and you just press it in with a little bit of pressure. It makes that perfect burger. Take our plate. Now, I'm just gonna be pan frying these, so probably like 2 minutes on each side would probably be enough. So I'm just gonna put them on my plate here, but I wanted to show you. So you've got, and you can make them thicker if you want them thicker, but they're perfectly even burgers, totally amazing. I should show you what I have in my freezer right now, because this week I did get some ground beef on special, and I added, actually I love our guacamole mix in some ground beef. I absolutely love it. So that is my go-to for burgers, for beef burgers anyway. And it's super simple. Now, when I'm doing them, I'll do them on a huge tray usually, so I can whip out a lot of them at a time. But just to give you an idea, do you see how fast that is? Like these perfectly beautiful burgers. And then you can either flash freeze them to put them on the grill, or I'm gonna use them tonight. I'm gonna pan fry them on each side a couple minutes, and they're beautiful, okay? They're so delicious. I love this flavor. I never thought I would love it as much as I do. I'm not like a huge fish person, but this is like totally exceeds my expectation. So I'm super pumped about that. I am gonna put this aside and I'm gonna show you actually what else, what you can stack on your burger, because honestly, it's all about the condiments in my opinion. I love condiments too. I actually just love food, period, which I don't know about you, but especially in the COVID time when we have nothing else to do, it's gotta taste good in my opinion. So we've got a few different sauces that I want to show you, and again, it just goes along with the burger. Just so many different options for condiments for burgers with Epicure. Number one we're going to talk about is honey mustard. This is a fantastic condiment, which I'm going to show you how I use it in my salad. There's also the sweet and spicy, which I personally prefer because I like a little bit of heat, but my kids like the honey mustard because it's really mild and sweet and delicious. So we're gonna make a sauce out of that today. We are also going to make the Big Burger sauce. Now, to make a Big Burger sauce, recipe's right on there. You can also make a tartar sauce with that. So if you're actually doing, you know, some fish, you can make a quick tartar sauce, which is super simple. What else is on there? But we are gonna make the Big Burger sauce because I haven't tried this yet, but I think the Big Burger sauce itself is gonna be fantastic on this burger, on this West Coast burger. The other one that is my absolute favorite of the season is this feisty green, and you saw the video I might have posted, I think I posted it yesterday, the feisty green. I love this flavor. Now, it's not super spicy. It does have a bit of a bite, but the way we're gonna make it tonight, it's like, it smells like pesto, and I love pesto, but just has this like kick to it. It's delicious. So I have tried it in a few different ways. I've mixed it up in butter and added it to like a garlic bread style. And that same butter went into like steamed broccoli, and I'm just obsessed with this flavor. I think this would be phenomenal on a toasted tomato sandwich. Like, so good, right? So this is one of my new faves. I'm gonna grab the two things that I'm gonna need. I've got a bit of mayonnaise here. So I'm gonna make two sauces. I wanna show you how absolutely easy it is to create sauces with Epicure. Condiments, dips for your veggies. If your kids don't love veggies, but they need a little something to add to their veggie dips. We have like so many different flavors, which is so nice. And we're keeping it fairly healthy. I mean, everything in moderation, right? Not too much mayonnaise. Or you can cut it with like Greek yogurt or something to add that extra protein if you like that. All right, I'm gonna grab my other spoon here. We're gonna start with the feisty green, and I'm just going to add, so the recipe again is right on the jar. So for a bit of mayonnaise, you are going to stir in, it says a tablespoon. I'm gonna stir in a tablespoon, just under a tablespoon because I don't quite have a full cup of mayonnaise there. And then I'm going to do just a splash of lime. So I'm going to use our citrus press and the chef knife. This is a ceramic knife, which is nice, super sharp. You want to be careful with that one. And we are just going to cut that up. Use our citrus press, and you just need a splash on this one. I love this citrus press. I definitely do a lot of lemon and lime, so just need a little squeeze of that. And then we're gonna stir it together. Was that not the easiest thing ever? This is gonna make the most delicious burger, like condiment for your burger, like I said. This also makes a really nice salad dressing. So if you want a beautiful, you know, zesty salad dressing, you could totally do that as well. Like I said, you can add it to your butter. I haven't tried it on like as a chicken marinade, but I think it would be phenomenal on chicken. It's so simple and delightful. So that is one sauce. And then we've got our Big Burger sauce. So here I've got mayonnaise. I just chopped up a pickle, okay? It actually calls for relish, but I actually don't have relish in my kitchen because it often has like all the bad ingredients in, and I don't like that. So I know, unless you're making your own relish, which I imagine Mary probably makes her own relish. I don't know, I'm sure a lot of you do too. Homemade relish, of course, would be amazing. So just a little bit of relish, your mayonnaise, your ketchup, and I do use President's Choice sugar-free ketchup, and it's actually really good. It's sweetened with stevia, but honestly, you don't even taste the stevia in it. I think it's phenomenal, and you're not adding all that extra sugar that a lot of the ketchups have. Okay, so then we're gonna use our big burger sauce mix, and oh, I should have used the bigger side, but I'm gonna put a tablespoon of that, so 3 teaspoons. It's 1 tablespoon, and we are gonna stir that up, and voila. Again, you have a beautiful, delicious sauce. Now this tastes totally different than the first sauce we just made, which is amazing. And this sauce can be used for all kinds of things as well, but it's delicious. Now, of course, that ketchup is making it that orangey color, almost like if you've ever had like a Thousand Island dressing style, but it doesn't really taste like that. It kind of tastes like, some people have said, I haven't had a McDonald's Big Mac in ages, but some people say it tastes like the secret sauce on the Big Mac. I have no idea if that's true, but that is what it's been compared to. It is absolutely delightful. So I think this on your West Coast burger sauce is gonna be awesome. So 2 sauces in a matter of minutes, so simple. Now that sauce can also be tailored to a coleslaw mix, which is what we're gonna do next. I think coleslaw is like, screams summer. We eat a lot of coleslaw, partly because cabbage is cheap. And so I can get a lot of meals out of a cabbage. And you know, if I spice it up right, the kids will eat it, which is great, which I'll show you what I'm actually gonna do with it, and I'll give you some different ideas of what you can also do with it as well. So I'm going to show off this next piece, and this is our mandolin. If you haven't seen this, this is a lovely tool. It actually comes with 4 different plates, and the one that I'm using is a 1.5 millimeter. And I'll show you some different things that you can do with it. But I love this thing. I love it because I can put it in my drawer, and it doesn't take up a lot of space, and I use it because it's right there for me, right? I open my drawer, there it is. I use it, I give it a rinse, and I put it back in my drawer. It's not like that appliance, I don't know, you probably don't have this, or maybe you do, I don't know, that appliance that's like in your cupboard and you want to use it, but it's so much effort to like haul it out and put it on your counter. I don't know why that's such a big deal, but anyways, I just use it more because it's so convenient for me. Anyway, that's me going on a rant. So I have like quartered my cabbage here, and I love it because it actually fits beautifully on my mandolin. And then it comes with a guard, and the guard is really important to keep your fingers right inside there, which is super important. And it's got the prongs on the inside, so you're just gonna hear it prong in there, and it's got like a little lip here, and that will sit on your bowl or on your cutting board so that it doesn't go crazy. I'm just going to show you because I want to show you what it looks like, but it will just, hang on, slide it back and forth with a little bit of pressure, and it's going to slice up your cabbage in minutes, which is amazing. I've got a little bit already made just to save time here on camera, but I wanted to show you. But I just love how thin it is. So like if you are someone who makes sauerkraut or something like that, this tool is absolutely phenomenal. I also like to, I'll like buy a jar of pickles, and I'll just, oops, make a mess. Just whip it up through the mandolin, and then I've got like, you know, sandwich pickles, you know, like sliced pickles that you pay a little bit extra for because they're sliced for you. Yeah, anyway. So I will just do the whole jar. It literally takes me less than 2 minutes to do the whole jar because it's so fast. And that's it. And then when I want a good pickle for my sandwich, there it is, ready to go. All right, I'm gonna switch my plate, and we're gonna do a carrot, just to add some color and nutrition, of course. I'm all about nutrition. So we've got 4 plates here. We've got the large julienne. we've got the small julienne, which is what I'm going to use. That one. And we're just going to pop it in, just like that. It's super simple. Move that aside. And I'm going to actually move these things aside as well, because I'm going to peel my carrot first with my handy dandy peeler, which I think actually is out of stock right now. I could be wrong on that, but I think so. All right, so I'm going to start by peeling it, and then I'm going to run it through the mandolin so you can see the beautiful cut that it makes. Does anybody have the mandolin? I'm curious to know if you are using it. All right, and then I'm just gonna cut the ends off to get that off. Okay, now there's a couple ways you can do this. Now I said you should use the guard, which you should, to protect your fingers, but what you also wanna do with a big carrot or cucumber or something like that, sometimes it's just a little bit more challenging to, I find it challenging anyway, to cut it when it's like, to put it on the like, what am I talking about? It's challenging to put it on the grippy thing, the guard, when it's so long like that, right? So either you could do it like this, and then have your pieces. I want to show you how thin that is. Isn't that nice? I love cutting like onion on here is really nice as well. Okay, or this is really the easiest way to do it as well. You just cut it in like chunks like this and take your guard and just chunk it in there. And then a carrot is a little bit harder because it does it's like you need a little bit more pressure, but it cuts it beautiful. It makes your salad delightful. It's awesome. I'm gonna move that aside for a sec. I'll do the rest in a minute. But you get the idea, right? Okay, so let's talk about sauces for this, because this is one of my faves. Like I said, I think coleslaw is really like screams summer. So what I'm gonna do today is I'm gonna use the honey mustard paired with the mayonnaise, just mayonnaise. But my favorite is probably doing, like I said, the sweet and spicy, but my kids don't love it. And I hate getting to the table and somebody doesn't like my food. Anybody else like that? Does anybody have any picky eaters? So I try to, convenience, like I try to make it convenient and delicious for my whole family. And sometimes maybe I'll take a little bit out and make one for my husband and I, because he likes spicy too. And then I'll do a little batch for my kids who don't like it as spicy. But today, so all it is mayonnaise and a little bit of the honey mustard. It's a beautiful combination. Seriously, the kids love it every time. So like a tablespoon is probably enough for that much. And let me get my grip and grabs. These are the best tongs, totally. They're called grip and grabs. They're amazing. Okay. All right, so I am just gripping that and tossing it all together for my salad. But another thing you can do, if you don't want the mayonnaise, you could do like an oil and vinegar base, like with our salad dressing. We have so many amazing flavors in our salad dressings. And you could literally do any of the salad dressings on here. We even have one called coleslaw, which you could also do a tangy or a creamy dressing with, and it is phenomenal. I love that one. Again, my kids are not super fuzzy about it, but well, sorry, I should say 1 out of my 3 children won't eat it, so I just make what they like. So that's simple, right? You could also add the big burger sauce to that, and that would be absolutely delicious. So just as is, you make it up, you toss it together, and you have an absolutely gorgeous coleslaw. Now, I made coleslaw because, well, I like it on the side, but this is gonna be awesome on top of the burger. Have you ever had a sandwich with coleslaw in it? It's so good. It's so good. So if you haven't tried that, you have to actually try coleslaw on top of your sandwich, on top of your burger. It is delicious. yeah, so that's our coleslaw for today. Again, you could do more of a vinaigrette style and add just oil and vinegar to that with some seasonings, and that tastes delicious too. All right, a few things I wanted to share. One is some of the flavors of the season, our Montreal steak spice. I discovered this one last year. We've had it for years, but I'm not like a really chunky seasoning kind of person. But last year I discovered that I could put my grinder from my sea salt on my jars. Well, I knew that, but I never actually did it, which is weird, right? So I put these on the jars. Now I've got this amazing Montreal steak flavor that is grinded finely that I love. Like, I'm actually in love with it. In fact, I'm gonna put it right on here because I wanna show you how delicious it is and how easy it is to add just a little bit of that flavor right in. Ah, this is exciting to me. Anyways, that flavor, I love a good steak, and that on a piece of meat is amazing. So anyways, that is the cooking portion. There are a few things that I did want to mention in terms of like what's going on in the catalog. Most things are available. A few new things just came back. If you are, an avid Epicure user, you will super love what's out. We've got the the cheddar and jalapeno cornbread. It is phenomenal, like so delicious and super easy to make. And then we have something called the Simple Summer Collection. That's on page 15 of the catalog, and this is where you're going to get a sample of all of the new goodies. So if you already love Epicure and you have a lot of the things already, this is a great place to start. There's some phenomenal things in here, and there's two things that you can only get in this collection, and that is the citrus lime cheesecake. If you are a lime or lemon person, you're gonna love this cheesecake. It's so absolutely delightful. So that's the only way you can get it, and as well as the Easy Peasy Taco Mix, which is a meatless taco. So I don't know if you or you know somebody who loves a little bit of extra, a few meals without the meat, or just trying to cut back on your meat consumption like we are. We would consider ourselves flexitarians, so we mostly eat meat, but we try to put in two or three vegetarian meals in a week, just to help on the budget and better for the environment and better for our health and all those things. So I'm excited that they came out with the Easy Peasy taco. It actually looks like taco meat. It's delicious. The kids love it. And I've added it to spaghetti sauces and kind of things like that. So that's been really, it's been really great too. So one more thing that I wanted to share that I have in my freezer. I actually made it this morning, and it was all based out of not drinking enough water. And I'm speaking to myself because I have a hard time drinking water. So infused water, so giving that extra flavor in your water. And I want to show you what I made. I can grab it here. Okay. I'm excited about this. So my friend Kimberly, she dropped off some fresh mint leaves, and right now mint is it's totally in season. So I took our Perfect Petite pan and just put some mint, cut up mint leaves, fresh mint leaves, and some frozen blueberries is what I had, and I squeezed some lemon all in there and added water to make these beautiful ice cubes. Isn't that great? So I will be infusing my water just to help me drink more water. I don't know, does anybody else have problems drinking water? I definitely do. Some days I go all day and I realize I've only had one glass of water or less, which is crazy. And summer's coming, so you gotta stay hydrated. So this is a great way to stay hydrated and add some extra nutrients in your water. Isn't that awesome? Keep you energized and hydrated. So anyway, I wanted to show you that since it was in my freezer, and since I actually wanted to show you about the teas too, but I'm totally out and I'm waiting for an order, so it's on its way. Anyway, that is the cooking portion of the class. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, or you you want to see a totally different recipe, please make sure you connect with me. That will actually give credit to Mary.